This morning we're going to do another first. It'll be our first time pulling into a fuel dock. We're at Formentera in the Balearic Islands in Spain, and this fuel dock we've actually scoped out from land, and it looks fairly straightforward. It doesn't open till 9 o'clock, but we're going to get in there first, so we're first in the queue, and also we can get out before the big ferries start really rolling in. So I'm just going to bring the anchor up and head over there. Just drop that down a little bit and let it come back up again in the right position.
You're so going to be first in the queues.
I hope so. Just looking at this ferry over my shoulder here. Fortunately, I think we're going to get there about the same time he does. So I might just ease off a little. No, not that one, this one. Oh. The fast one. That one. Yeah. This fast one, he's coming up pretty darn quickly. I mean, if I can let them both go in, then great. Job done. So it looks like somebody else has had the same plan as us to get to the fuel dock early, so they're first in the queue. We can see them parked up there. Right now we're just holding position as we wait for a big ferry to come out and two medium-sized ferries to go in. Coming in behind us. Yeah, but there's big ones coming in first. He's getting priority for some reason.
También para control aquí, Ibiza rápido, rápido al crucero, pasamos a canal 303, cambio.
Okay. Ready. Gracias. Gracias. Okay, slip it when you're ready. Clear. Ciao. Alright, can breathe now.
Honestly, in the actual doing of it, it wasn't that difficult, was it? It was...
Still waiting and hanging around.
Yeah, that was that
really,
anxiety.
Really anxious making.
Yeah, it was, because not knowing what to expect or how it was going to go.
Yeah.
But you did really, really well. Another first.
Need a beer.
I need a Valium. And they're really helpful with the lines and stuff. Like, I didn't have to do anything really.
So how much was that? The things, the receipts underneath the roller?
That was €217.
Ooh. Wednesday morning, and as you can plainly see, we got the sails up. There's very little wind. We're doing about 3.5 knots, but some wind is better than no wind, and we've decided to make a run for it early this morning, and I reckon we should get pretty much all the way to where we want to go via wind power. Bit slow, but we'll get there. Oh, we're going to Ibiza. We've arrived in Cala Tarida. It's very pretty. We'll show you a picture of it in a second. We're slightly out away from the beach in deeper water, but again, we'll wait and see what happens with the herd here, and then if space opens up in the shallower water, we'll move back and pick that up a little bit later on today. But right now, we're here. It's all good.
Woohoo! This is Cala Tarida, and that is our boat. Baz is getting his scuba gear on today, and it's not just for a regular little scuba dive for the two of us. I'll let him tell you what's going on.
We've been watching this guy in the yacht just behind us, and he's been struggling to get his anchor up for the last, well, I would say maybe an hour. Where he's positioned, we know that there's rocks there because we were told by somebody else who comes here regularly. So he's got his chain wrapped around the rocks. He does have a little pony bottle of air, but unfortunately it's run out and he hasn't got a way of recharging it. So I just went over in the dinghy and said, hey, would it help if I came over with my scuba gear on? And he said yes, that would really help out. So I'm going to gear up, and I'm going to go over there and see what we can do. It's probably in about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 meters of water, so it's not deep.
There's something very sexy about a guy in scuba diving gear.
Hope I can help this guy out. Must be really frustrating wanting to leave and then finding out your anchor and your anchor chain are snagged.
Yeah, distressing too, I should imagine.
Yeah. Someone keeps moving the boat! Stop moving the boat! So there was no way he was going to get that out on snorkel. Basically what had happened was, sometime in the night when the boat's swung around on its anchor chain, the anchor chain's got wrapped around a big piece of coral rock, and the chain is actually cut through the rock. So the chain's gone right under, and then the rock that it's cut has fallen down on top of the chain. So there's just no way you just couldn't pull it out. Because when I looked at it at first, I went, how the hell did that get in there in the first place? I removed parts of the fallen rock, the smaller pieces, and that allowed the bigger piece to just drop down slightly. I could pull the bigger piece out, and once I got that out, it was about yay big. And then once I got that out, I could then get his chain out and on top of the rock. And then of course, once that happened, the boat went, oh, I'm free. I started pulling the other way. So he was on the surface, he told him to let out more chain to compensate, and that allowed me to free it up and pull it into the sand. And he's good to go. And I think we might have a new subscriber. So it's all good. But it's hard work. I sucked nearly 50 bar of air just doing that. Might have been, what, 10 minutes or so? 15 minutes?
So there's no way he could have done that just with that?
No, not with a pony bottle. It's empty anyway. It's not certified, so he can't get it refilled. So
he's fortunate that you were there.
Well, yeah, because ain't nobody else going to sort him out here. Unless anybody else rushing to his rescue.
Fortuitous.
So anyway, I can have a beer now.
You can.
This is our last morning at Cala Tarida on the Spanish Balearic Island of Ibiza. We're heading back over to the mainland. One of the main reasons we're going over there is because my brother Phil is over there at the moment. He leaves on Saturday. Today is Thursday, so we thought we'd give it a shot while there's a little bit of wind. And talking about the wind, come below and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this lot here is pretty much the wind, and if we go to Thursday today and look at 8 o'clock, it's telling us we expect anything between 8 and possibly 15, and then it progresses out through the day, and it's here from about 10 till midday or 1 o'clock that we start to lose the wind. As you can see, they're saying it could be 1 or it could be 3, it could be 5, but others are saying 10. Now if it stays at 10, then we're happy, and then as we go through the afternoon and get closer to the mainland, then we're predicting more higher winds. So that's predict wind. And this is what windy looks like at 10 o'clock this morning. So we are leaving from about here and we're heading over to here. So basically we're going to be sailing like this, which means most of the wind should be on a beam breach for us. Nice and windy here to start with. It will pick up over here. There's a little bit of dead stuff in the middle where we might have to motor. And then as we progress that through out to the bay, you can see the wind picks up from around about 1 o'clock-ish as we get over here to our destination. So we'll see how we go. Let's hope we have wind all the way. All right, ready when you are.
Okay, I see the anchor.
Right for that. Okay, now the wind will push the bow around and we should slide onto the wind.
Okay, she's nearly up.
Okay, don't forget to lock it off.
We've been sailing for about 2 hours now and the wind's been kind of all over the place. We did expect it to be on a beam reach, but we found that it was fluctuating between a beam reach, which is on the side, to sort of pretty much all the way behind us. And we didn't feel comfortable having the main sail out because we were cautious about doing an accidental jibe. So we've brought the mainsail in and we're sailing on a head sail. But we've still got about 5.9 knots of speed, so that's pretty good. We're quite happy with that. The wind was meant to have died down about now, and so far, it's still good. What's the wind speed, Baz?
The apparent is 11.
So the apparent wind speed is 11 knots. And we're getting 5.9 knots of speed out of the boat with the head sail only, so that's pretty good. So we'll keep you updated. As you can see, we've got both sails up now and we're doing proper sailing. I'll let Baz tell you why we've managed to, or how we've managed to get the sails up now.
The mainsail's been up for a couple of hours now. Originally when we put it up it was a proper beam reach, but now we're close hauled. We actually gained an extra 2 knots speed by putting up the mainsail as well as the head sail. So otherwise it was just going to take us over 10 hours to get to our destination. So I think we're probably about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours out. It's hard to tell at the moment. But yeah, we're close hauled and just about aiming where we want to go. So just have to wait and see what happens.
Don't know if you can see, but behind me is the mainland coast. The wind's picked up to about 15.6 knots of apparent wind, and we are getting a boat speed of 7.5. Not bad, hey? It's been really good the last hour or so, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a really good hour and a half of sailing. As the wind's picked up a bit and with both sails out, we've made
Next week on Sailing ABC, we arrive at Javier in mainland Spain and find ourselves in a nightmare scenario that none of our training could ever have prepared us for.
About an hour ago, I just got into bed. I was just about to read, and I heard this. It's a sickening sound.
It's just a thud. I thought someone had hit us because we were quite happily tied up to a mooring ball.
And then it went
And then
again.
it just went again.
And it was like,
and by the
that?
time I realised what was going on, it must have hit 4 or 5 times. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a like and make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you get notified when future Sailing ABC videos are released. Also, if you feel inclined, leave us a comment. We'd love to read your feedback.